Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria has just wrapped up as the main event on UFC 308. This was a great fight, the BMF versus the featherweight champion, and Max Holloway looked sharp from the beginning of this fight. He was alert, he wasn't getting hit as much as he usually does in fights, setting up traps with those kicks, and Ilia Topuria looking to counter him every time Max would exchange. But Max's volume seemed to be kind of overwhelming Ilia Topuria a little bit as the fight went on. In that second and third round, it was looking like Ilia Topuria was having a hard time connecting on Max, but finally in that third round, Ilia Topuria finds that right hand that lands flush on Max Holloway's chin, and from there Max just wasn't the same. He hunted Max down. Max was wobbled and Ilia Topuria found that left hook to drop him, which Max has never been dropped in his career up until this point, and just went to the ground and pound, and finished Max Holloway, the first time he's ever been knocked out.
Oh shit.
Oh my goodness, he's getting...
Oh, the body
Oh my
shot.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
Dude, Topuria throwing some heat.
Max
bro,
will not let you pin him against the cage.
And I like how he gets them hurt and goes to the body.
He's Spanish. What is he again?
Yeah, Georgian, but grew up in Spain.
Georgian.
Oh, he dropped him with a left hook.
That's it.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, he's out.
That's it.
It's
Oh
over.
my goodness.
He's
oh
a
my
bad
goodness.
motherfucker.
Oh
He's a
my
bad
God.
Georgian from Russia.
Are you talking about Russia?
Yes.
That's the
Yes.
first fuck.
This. Take a look at that. Clean, perfect rotation. That's what makes this kid special, John.
That was unbelievable, guys. We have just witnessed the birth of a superstar. We have just witnessed the birth of one of the newest faces of the UFC. To do that to Max Holloway after you know, not a tough first couple rounds, but he figured it out. And right before you guys nailed it, something happened to his oblique there. He got nailed, and it looked like, I don't know if there was like a welt in it. I don't know if there was a separation. And then it was almost like Ilia said, enough of this shit, and then brought it on him up against the cage, the body shots, the right, left. He has dynamite in his hands, reminiscent of some of the great strikers in the history of the sport. And then to sleep Max Holloway with one of the greatest chins in the history of this game, Ilia Topuria. And then what a celebration. Bows, drinks the tea. That is a gangster right there.
Gangster, dude.
Is this
one of the best fighters
Conor
in the world.
reminiscent? I know it's cliche, but this feels like Conor.
It's not just Conor. It's just, there's always a moment where a superstar is born, and
So
he arrived when he beat Alex Volkanovski. He has emerged as a superstar.
Oh my God!
With this victory,
Unbelievable.
Alexander Volkanovski wants a rematch. What do you want next? Turn around, Ilia.
I want to hug both of them. Swear to God. Right now, I don't want to fight with anyone. Right now, thank you very much, bro. You're the man, bro. He's the man. We're gonna do it again. You deserve that. You're the man. He defended his title 7 times. So I don't know how many times. If someone deserves it, it's him. So let's do it, bro.
The jab. Got to get the advertising for Moreno Albazian. No.
He hurt him. Topuria hurt him. Max is firing back. Rips in the body. Topuria's got him in trouble. Max is off the fence.
How is this possible?
Max got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Max got hurt.
Oh, Topuria.
Max is still in trouble.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, he knocked him out. Ilia Topuria knocked him out.
Oh, my God.
That's the best fighter in the world. That's the best fighter in the world. That's the fighter of the year.
Volk, don't fight him. Go to 55, Volk. Go to 155.
It's the best fighter in the world.
Oh, my Lord. He did it.
That man
did it.
Talked a mountain of and just delivered.
No one has ever done that before. No one.
He put him down.
Kevin Holland shared his belief that the upcoming fight would sell many tickets and bring in a lot of money. He emphasized the excitement of a matchup between the baddest and the champion, pointing out that it's been a long time since fans have witnessed this kind of showdown, making it an incredible event.
Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, what do you think about that fight? How do you think it will go down?
I think it's going to sell a lot of tickets. It's going to make a lot of money. I think it's going to be a great fight. BMF versus the champ.
It's like we haven't seen that in a while, so that'd be great. It'd be fantastic.
Alexander Volkanovski shared his thoughts on the psychological tactics used by Ilia Topuria before his fight against Max Holloway at UFC 308. Topuria mentioned that he plans to turn the tables on Holloway by pointing to the canvas at the start of the fight, a clear jab at Holloway's famous move that challenges opponents to engage in striking. In a recent interview with Submission Radio, Volkanovski discussed whether Holloway would fall for Topuria's mind games. He said, continue with the quote if you have one. He said, of course he would for Max Holloway to just point at the floor. We know Ilia's got great hands right. He would just love to stay in that boxing range. That's where he has his chance of landing the big shot, even though Max has got an incredible chin. But I don't think Max is that silly. He added, I'm sure Max is looking at that and be like, I believe you think that you have to fight that way to beat me. But Max is probably thinking that I can beat you in many different ways. But Max being Max, he's probably going to be winning and still do the same thing anyway. Israel Adesanya shared his views on Max Holloway's toughness, noting that Holloway has never been knocked out in his career. While he acknowledged that Holloway had been knocked down before, Adesanya pointed out that those moments were brief and didn't count as true knockouts. He expressed doubt that Ilia Topuria could finish Holloway, but admitted that fights are unpredictable, suggesting that the later rounds might reveal more about the matchup.
Nah,
I can't bet against Max.
Knocked out Holloway?
Yeah,
who
I can't
has?
bet against Max.
No one. So that's the thing. I know Max got dropped for the first time in 300 by Gaethje, but again, Alex kind of rocked him a little bit, and just Hawaiians, bro, they're tough.
Wait, Gaethje dropped Max?
Yeah, just briefly. That's the thing. These Hawaiians, bro.
No, but it was a legit knockdown. Yeah.
It didn't count, and but I know what a knockdown is when I see it. Yeah, it was. But again, I just don't think Topuria could hit him. But to finish him, who knows? I mean, let's see what 3-4-5, round 5, 3-4 looks like.
Just a little over a year into his UFC career, Diego Lopes experienced a remarkable run that few could match. With that experience under his belt, Lopes stayed ready to fight either Topuria or Holloway until he saw both of them step into the octagon on October 26th. I'm doing everything as if I were fighting on the card, Lopes said. I spoke to my nutritionist and I told him, I don't know how other backups do it, but I'm not just planning to make the weight, and that's it. I'm really doing everything as if I were fighting. I'm going to Abu Dhabi next week and I'm taking 6 people with me. I'm paying them everything, and I'm doing the adequate preparation as if I were fighting that night. I plan on making the weight well and being in shape. I'm not just going to weigh in to pocket a paycheck. No, I'm doing everything as if I were fighting. He added, even on the day of the fight, until I see both guys inside the octagon, that's when I'm turning off the switch. Something that had never happened, which was a fight falling through 2 hours before it happened with me. So after that, I can expect just anything, so I'll be ready. Alexandre Pantoja believed the upcoming fight would be incredible, noting that Max Holloway would defend his title. He emphasized the importance of the match for both fighters and highlighted Holloway's current undefeated status as a challenger. Pantoja expressed his excitement and gratitude for the promotion making the fight happen.
Incredible fight, you know. Max Holloway gonna put his belt for the BMF too?
I don't think so. I think this is just gonna be for the title.
Okay, but it's gonna be huge, you know. I'm super fan of both guys. Ilia Topuria is undefeated, you know. The challenger like a Max Holloway. It's a perfect right now, you know. I'm glad to UFC make that fight happen.
Daniel Cormier believed that Ilia Topuria was starting to get under Max Holloway's skin ahead of their highly anticipated UFC 308 showdown. During a pre-fight interview moderated by Brendan Fitzgerald, tensions rose between the two fighters. Topuria confidently claimed that he would be the first to knock out Holloway, which seemed to unsettle the former champion. Cormier, who watched the exchange, felt that Topuria's confidence had begun to frustrate Holloway. For me, this is where it gets interesting. We saw Max Holloway get a little mad, Cormier explained. It feels like Ilia Topuria has reached a point where Max doesn't like him anymore. At first, Topuria respected Max's career and accomplishments, but now I'm not sure he holds the same respect, and that's smart from Topuria. He further added, look at Holloway's last fight against Justin Gaethje. Gaethje liked Max, had no ill feelings toward him, and even admitted he couldn't get motivated for the fight because of how well liked Holloway is. And what happened? Max knocked him out with one of the most brutal KOs we've seen in a long time, but Ilia isn't falling into that trap. He's saying, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to retire you. He already said he retired Volkanovski, and he's confident he'll do the same to Max. Sean Strickland expressed his feelings about the situation, suggesting that Max Holloway was someone who didn't like him. Despite that, he made it clear that he admired Holloway, calling him a legend who had delivered countless great fights. Strickland stated that every time Holloway stepped into the octagon, he always picked Holloway to win.
Wait, the other guy doesn't like me? I think he just doesn't like me. I don't know, man. I admit that. I like Max, dude. He's a man, dude. You know, he's a legend, dude. He's gave us so many great fights. Every time Max fights, I just pick Max.
Conor McGregor's war of words with Ilia Topuria continued as he wished Max Holloway good luck against Topuria. Kim. This isn't Topuria's home country, McGregor said in an interview with Jamal Niaz. This is my home country, baby. Marbella, Spain. Where is he at? This ain't his home country. He knows where his home country is, and it's not España. So, good luck, Max Holloway. Kim up. Angela Hill expressed confidence in Max Holloway's chances in the upcoming fight, praising his aggressive style and mental focus. She noted that past losses, like his to Alexander Volkanovski, didn't dictate future outcomes, emphasizing that Holloway could win against Ilia Topuria as long as he avoided Topuria's striking. Hill believed Holloway had what it took to get the job done.
I think Max might get it. I think he can get it. He's just so, he just looks so aggressive and so just mentally checked in every time he fights. It's really impressive. And if he's not fighting Volkanovski, he's going in there and he's putting on a clinic. So we'll see what happens, because MMA math, never a mass. Just because he lost to Volkanovski doesn't mean he can lose to Topuria. So.
Ilia Topuria was as confident as ever going into his first featherweight title defense. Topuria promised to invite Holloway to a slugfest at UFC 308, expressing confidence that he wouldn't take more than 10 seconds to hand the former champion his first knockout loss. He believed he would achieve this in the opening seconds of the fight. "I will be there in the middle of the octagon in the 0 seconds. Topuria told Ariel Helwani. "I want to offer the most exciting first 10 seconds in UFC history, and I want to have the fastest knockout in the UFC history with my hands. Because Jorge Masvidal has it with a knee, I want to do it with the hands. I'm so excited. I don't have any doubts that I'm going to knock him out. If he stays in the middle in the first 10 seconds of the fight, we're going to see the fastest knockout in UFC history." Stephen Thompson shared his excitement for the upcoming fight, declaring himself a huge fan of Max Holloway. He made it clear that he supported Holloway all day, emphasizing his loyalty to the fighter.
Ilia Topuria should be taking on Max Holloway. How do you think that fight goes down?
Oh man, I'm excited for that one. I'm a huge Holloway fan, man, so I'm going to be going for my man Holloway all day.
Sean O'Malley weighed in on the featherweight title fight and shared his thoughts on what he believed would transpire. During the latest episode of the Timbo Sugar Show, Suga expressed his excitement for the featherweight title clash and noted that he thought it would be an entertaining stand-up fight. O'Malley mentioned that he was curious to see who would come out victorious and disagreed with his coach Tim Welch's prediction about the first round, indicating whether the bout would be contested on the feet or the ground. He said, "Continue with the quote if you have one." He said, "I am excited for Topuria versus Holloway, dude. I think they're both such dogs that no matter what happens in the first round, they could switch it. Like one punch can change the fight. This is as high level as it gets. It's going to be a sweet kickboxing fight too." Raul Rosas Jr. expressed his support for Ilia Topuria in the upcoming fight, citing his admiration for Topuria's fighting style. He recognized Max Holloway's boxing skills, but emphasized Topuria's high-level wrestling, believing it could be a decisive factor. Ultimately, Rosas felt that Topuria had the edge in the matchup.
That's a good fight. But I'm gonna go with Topuria, because I'm a Topuria fan. I like his fighting style. So, but Max, he's outboxed everybody, so that it can be like a boxing fight. But I know Topuria's also got wrestling, like high-level wrestling. So I think Topuria.
UFC lightweight Justin Gaethje did not rule out an upset in the main event of UFC 308. The highlight recently appeared in an interview with Schmo, where he was asked to predict the winner of the fight. Gaethje, who had been on the receiving end of a sensational knockout at the hands of Holloway at UFC 300, spoke highly of the Hawaiian's competitive spirit. "I don't know, man. I mean, Max has been there for so many times. He's got so much experience. He's an absolute dog. His competitive spirit is as high as anybody that's ever stepped in there, so you're not going to run through him, no matter what." However, Gaethje also stated that the power Topuria possessed was no joke, citing his knockout win over Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 298. He did not rule out a similar victory for El Matador. "It's a crazy game, and Topuria has power, so if he touches him, he could knock him out. But we'll see. Topuria was very impressive versus Volkanovski, so we'll see how he looks." Giga Chikadze expressed his excitement for the upcoming fight, highlighting the matchup between two of the best fighters in the division. He praised Max Holloway's performance and noted Ilia Topuria's knockout power, anticipating a highly entertaining bout. Chikadze mentioned that he planned to attend the fight, whether at the Sphere or another venue, and expressed interest in covering upcoming title fights afterward.
That's a great fight. I'm looking forward to watch that. One of the best fighters at the moment in the division. We saw how Max performed in his fight, and Ilia, you guys saying that He's a knockout puncher. He's coming up strong. It's gonna be really, really entertaining. I'm looking forward. I'll be there in a Sphere, if it's gonna be Sphere or any other venue. And after this fight, I'll try maybe to cover some title fights pretty soon. So let's see what happens.
Chael Sonnen doubted that Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway would go the distance. He stated, "So what will happen if Topuria knocks out Max Holloway?" Which, by the way, I think is the only way he's going to beat him. I think one of these guys has got to stop the other one, because that heart and that grit, that I'm coming after you, I'm going to keep on trying to win. I don't think that's a switch that gets flipped off. Corey Sandhagen expressed his excitement for the upcoming fight, noting that he was more excited than he had been in a long time. As a big Max Holloway fan, he acknowledged his admiration for Holloway, but could not deny that Ilia Topuria was one of the best and most well-rounded fighters in the sport right now. Ultimately, Sandhagen chose Topuria as his pick.
Dang. Yeah, that one I'm really excited to watch. Like, more excited than I've been in a really long time for a fight to watch, just because I'm such a big Max Holloway fan. But then I also cannot deny the fact that Ilia, I think, is just one of the best, most well-rounded guys in the sport right now. So I'll go Ilia just because I just think he's real well-rounded. And God, that hurts to even say, but I'll just go with Ilia.
Basil Hafez shared his thoughts on the fight, saying it was a tough decision since he was a fan of both fighters. He praised Ilia Topuria for his technical skills and exciting knockouts, while also acknowledging that Holloway is one of the greatest of all time. Hafez noted that Holloway is a fighter who always sticks around and can finish a fight. He predicted that Topuria would win by split decision, believing the match would go the distance, as neither fighter would knock the other out. Hafez remarked on their toughness, stating that both fighters have strong chins and would really test each other throughout the fight.
That's another tough one, man. I'm a fan of both, man. Ilia Topuria burst on the scene and has been like so technically sound. It's such a great fighter to watch. His knockouts have been insane. But Holloway is, one of the GOATs. He's one of the greatest of all time, and he's one of the guys that sticks around no matter what and will be able to finish the fight. So I'm gonna go Ilia Topuria by split decision. I think it's going to go all the way. I don't think either one of them is going to knock the other one out. I think they're both tough chins, tough dudes, and I think they're going to really test each other the whole fight.
So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about this tremendous night? And which fighter have you supported? Share your thoughts in the comment section and make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also, check our other videos.